Hey, hello guys, welcome to IQCIVILS IAS Academy, a great coach transforms life. So today we are going to discuss about El Nino and the monsoon. Why I chose this topic because 2 days ago in Indian Express there is a very beautiful article on El Nino and the monsoon. Why? Because this year 2023, in this year maybe in July or August, El Nino will become active and it has a profound impact on the monsoon and on the Indian economy. That's why I'm going to explain you this El Nino, La Nina and neutral phase in detail in a series of 2 to 3 videos. And this is the first video of this series. This will be covered by me, Dr. Sachin Kadam, faculty at IQ Civil Science Academy, Guwahati. This is about IQ Civil Science Academy. We provide you faculties from Delhi. This is our elite panel of faculties from Delhi, that is Sunil sir, Sachin sir, Anuj sir, Alok sir, Yogesh sir, Rizwan sir, Vikram sir and Nitin Kumar sir. We are starting our new batches from 5th July and 12th of July. These batches are available online as well as in offline mode. So you can join these batches, and if you want to join these batches, you need to register yourself. And for registration, you can connect to our director, Mr. Anuj Singh, or you can connect to our counselor, Indrani Deka. Okay, this is our YouTube channel. Subscribe to this YouTube channel, for like this video, share this video and enjoy the quality content available at IQ Civil Science Academy, Guwahati. This is the stars given by the students or Google reviews given by the students to IQ Civil Science Academy on Google. 4.9 star, that is rare and unique for a civil services institute. So you can be rest assured from students point of view also when it comes to the quality of the content available to students at IQ Civil Science Academy. Okay, now before I go to the actual content on El Nino and La Nina, I would like to show you the link of the article about which I am talking. So this is the article that came in Indian Express. This article is written by Amitabh Sinha, and the topic, the date of the article is 14th of June 2023. I like this article a lot. That's why I am sharing this article with you. Okay. So in this article, if you go one by one, if we go only according to the article, then things are like this. First, I will explain you what exactly this article says, and then we will go ahead. Okay, just give me a second now. Just a minute. Fine. So El Nino and the monsoon. So here you can see what are the El Nino and La Nina event. You should know this for the mains 23 as well as prelims 2024. And why does the Pacific Ocean witness them? So the first point that you come to know from this point is El Nino and La Nina. These two events are associated with the Pacific Ocean. And why do events in the far away Pacific influence rainfall over India? Through this article, you will come to know why the events happening in the far away Pacific Ocean, they impact Indian rainfall. How do El Nino and La Nina contribute to climate change? Whatever is happening, whatever climate change is happening, how they are contributing to climate change world over, throughout the world. All these topics, all these concepts will be discussed in this article. So first I am going through the article only, and then I will come to the actual content in our slides, maybe in next part of this video. Now see, whenever there is a discussion of Indian monsoon, there is always the mention of El Nino. Whether El Nino is active or not, it doesn't matter, but always if you are talking about Indian monsoon, there is a reference to the El Nino, like if, whether this is a El Nino year or not, like that. So this year's, that is 2023, this year's monsoon is progressing under the cloud of El Nino. Now what happened in 2023? Two things happened. Number one, there is a probability of development of El Nino, and second, Biparjoy, which is a cyclone that developed in the Arabian Sea, that also impacted the date of entry of monsoon in Indian subcontinent. Okay, so this year's monsoon is progressing under the cloud of El Nino. What is El Nino? Now listen to this very carefully. El Nino refers to An abnormal warming of surface waters in the equatorial Pacific Ocean. This is equatorial Pacific Ocean. I will show you equatorial Pacific Ocean map. So if there is an abnormal increase in the temperature of the equatorial Pacific Ocean, then that is known as El Nino. You can observe in this image here, you can check it out in this image. This is the equatorial Pacific Ocean that has border with Northern America, Southern America, Australia and the Asian continent. So if there is an abnormal warming of the water in the equatorial Pacific Ocean, we call that El Nino. Clear? Yes, this is the definition of El Nino. It is known to suppress monsoon rainfall. So first impact impact of the El Nino on monsoon is, if there is a El Nino, it will suppress monsoon. What it means? It means there will be less rainfall in India, or there will be weak monsoon. And we know Indian agriculture is completely dependent on the monsoon. So it is known to suppress monsoon rainfall. The opposite phase. Now at one point El Nino is there. It is abnormal warming of the waters of equatorial Pacific Ocean which suppresses monsoon. Opposite of El Nino is La Nina. And what is La Nina? It is the abnormal cooling of the surface water of the equatorial Pacific Ocean, and it helps monsoon, or it strengthens monsoon. So El Nino and La Nina, these are the exactly opposite phenomenons which have positive and negative impact on the Indian monsoon. So the opposite phase, La Nina, the abnormal cooling of sea surface waters in the same region, is known to aid rainfall over India. There is a third neutral phase. So along with the El Nino, La Nina, now there is a third phase which is known as neutral phase, okay, in which the sea surface temperatures remain roughly in line with long-term averages. So in case of neutral phase, what happens? In case of neutral phase, sea surface temperature neither increases nor decreases. And if there is any neutral year, if there is no La Nina or El Nino, then that neutral year is considered कि monsoon will be normal. In case of El Nino year, monsoon will be below normal. In case of La Nina year, monsoon will be more than normal. And in case of neutral phase, monsoon will be neutral or normal. Okay. Together, these three phases in the Pacific Ocean are referred to as El Nino Southern Oscillation. Now, if UPSC asks you what is ENSO, so this article is saying El Nino, La Nina and neutral phase. All these three together, they are considered as El Nino Southern Oscillation. I will explain you in detail what is El Nino Southern Oscillation. Don't worry about that. Okay. Now why the surface water in equatorial Pacific Ocean get abnormally warm or cold? What is the reason? And why this ENSO is happening? The El Nino phenomenon. Now the history of the El Nino phenomenon. The El Nino phenomenon was first noticed by scientists in the 1920. Now this El Nino was there since 1912, before 1920, but scientists came to know about El Nino in the year 1920, that is exactly 100 years ago. Though local populations in Peru and Ecuador were aware of the periodic warming much earlier. Actually, the fishermen in Peru and Ecuador, they knew that waters of the Pacific Ocean becomes warm or cold once in a while. Okay. The La Nina phenomenon was discovered only in 1980. So, El Nino 1920, in the year 1920, scientists came to know about El Nino, and in the year 1980, scientists came to know about La Nina. Okay, clear? Let's go ahead. Now, what exactly is the relations between the ocean and atmosphere? Because see, monsoon is related to atmosphere, El Nino is related to ocean. So what exactly, or how exactly this system of ocean and atmosphere works? or ENSO works. Okay, though ENSO is mostly discussed in terms of temperature abnormalities of sea surface water, it is important to understand that it is not just an ocean system. ENSO is not only related to ocean, it is related to the ocean as well as the atmosphere. Okay, it is important to understand that it is not just an ocean system. ENSO actually is an interaction of ocean and atmospheric condition. When the atmosphere and ocean, they interact with each other, that is ENSO. Okay, in fact, the southern oscillation, El Nino southern oscillation, that is the long form of ENSO. The southern oscillation part in the term ENSO refers to a specific atmospheric condition that is a measure of the difference in sea level air pressure over the western and eastern side of the Pacific Ocean. Now here, listen to this very carefully. El Nino, there is ENSO na. In ENSO, EN means El Nino. El Nino means warming of ocean temperature, right? Warming of ocean temperature, that is El Nino. And there is SO as well, southern oscillation. Now what is the meaning of southern oscillation? They gave the meaning of southern oscillation like this. It is a specific atmospheric condition that measures the difference in sea level air pressure. Southern oscillation means under this we measure the difference in the sea level air pressure between western and eastern Pacific Ocean. What is the difference between the air pressure present on the sea surface of western Pacific Ocean and sea surface of eastern Pacific Ocean? That difference is measured under southern oscillation, and the temperature of the ocean or increased temperature of the equatorial Pacific Ocean is measured under El Nino. One by one, then we will again go back, go ahead. Number one, what is El Nino? Abnormal warming of the surface waters in the equatorial Pacific Ocean. What is La Nina? Abnormal cooling of the surface waters in the equatorial Pacific Ocean. What is neutral phase? Neither abnormal warming, neither abnormal cooling of the equatorial Pacific Ocean. Then what is the impact of El Nino? El Nino weakens the monsoon in India. What is the impact of La Nina? La Nina strengthens the monsoon in India. So El Nino and La Nina, they are associated with the monsoon rainfall in India. Okay. Then this El Nino, La Nina and the neutral phase, all these three together we call them ENSO, El Nino Southern Oscillation. Okay. When we came to know about El Nino for the very first time in 1920, when we came to know about La Nina for the very first time in 1980. Okay, now what exactly is the meaning of El Nino and Southern Oscillation in ENSO? So you know what is the meaning of El Nino. What is Southern Oscillation? It is the measurement of the difference between the air pressure on western Pacific Ocean and eastern Pacific Ocean, that is Southern Oscillation. Okay, another atmospheric condition that plays a key role in ENSO is the strength and direction of the winds, or particularly trade winds. So when it comes to ENSO, it is about temperature of the ocean, air difference or air pressure on the oceans, and the trade winds. All these three together are responsible for the formation of southern El Nino southern oscillation. Okay, what else this article is telling us about El Nino? So the playground of this is the equatorial region. The playground of ENSO, that is El Nino, La Nina and the neutral phase, the playground is equatorial region in the Pacific Ocean. This region, equatorial region in the Pacific Ocean. So the playground of this is the equatorial region in the Pacific Ocean. On the east are Ecuador and Peru. This is equatorial Pacific Ocean. On the east there is a Peru and Ecuador, these two countries, and If you go to the western part, it is Philippines and Indonesia. This is Indonesia and this is Philippines. So between these two countries and these two countries, this is the equatorial Pacific Ocean. Okay. So the playground of this is the equatorial region in the Pacific Ocean. On the east are Ecuador and the Peru, and on the west Philippines and Indonesia. Between them is nearly 17,000 kilometers of uninterrupted ocean. There is no landmass between Peru and the this region. See, there is no landmass, uninterrupted ocean. This region receives the most sunlight anywhere on the earth. So remember, equatorial Pacific Ocean, it is considered that equatorial Pacific Ocean receives the most sunlight anywhere on the earth because it is a water body and water has more specific heat compared to the earth. So water absorbs more sunlight compared to the earth, a lot of which is stored as heat in the ocean. Okay. Now ENSO neutral condition. The tropical region, that is the area immediately above and below the equator. That is, or you can say tropical region, that is the area between Tropic of Capricorn on the north and Tropic of Cancer on the south. Sorry, Tropic of Cancer on the north and Tropic of Capricorn on the south, and in between there is an equator. So this region is known as tropical region. So the tropical region, that is the area immediately above and below the equator, is home to a permanent wind system called trade winds. We know that. I will show you trade winds. This is very basic from the NCERT. You can easily find this in NCERT. So in this image you can see, okay, just a minute, better than this we can we get another better image? I guess we can easily, yes, this one is better. So see, in this image you can observe, this is the northeast trade winds, this is the southeast trade winds, and between the this you can say this part. Is there any option of draw? No. Fine. This is 30°, this is 30°. Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn will be here. Between them there are trade winds. So the tropical region, that is the area immediately above and below the equator, is home to a permanent wind system called trade winds that move from east to west at quite low latitudes. So remember, trade winds are present between Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn. Number one. Number two, they move from east to west. And number three, these trade winds are part of the permanent wind system. Clear? So now, till now, what you understood? Number one, what is El Nino? Abnormal warming of the surface waters in the equatorial Pacific Ocean. What is La Nina? Abnormal cooling of sea surface waters in the equatorial Pacific Ocean. What is neutral phase? Neither cooling nor warming of the equatorial Pacific Ocean. All these three together are known as ENSO, El Nino Southern Oscillation. In El Nino Southern Oscillation, what is the meaning of Southern Oscillation? It means a southern oscillation measures the difference between air pressure on western Pacific Ocean and eastern Pacific Ocean. That is southern oscillation. When we came to know about El Nino for the very first time, scientists came to know about this in 1920 and about La Nina in 1980. Then this El Nino Southern Oscillation, where exactly it happens? It happens in a equatorial Pacific Ocean between Ecuador and Peru on east and Philippines and Indonesia on the west. And this region has uninterrupted ocean of 17,000 kilometers. That's why this region receives the most sunlight anywhere on the earth. Clear? Then one more thing you need to remember, tropical region on the earth. In the tropical region we can experience trade winds. These trade winds are permanent wind systems on the earth and they blow from east to west. So these trade winds are also present in tropical Pacific Ocean. Okay. The western Pacific warm pool and relatively cold waters near Ecuador and Peru. So this is all about the tropical region. Now I'm not going in details of this article because we are going to discuss El Nino and La Nina in detail uh, in our slides. So we will finish the yellow part. The warmest years in a decade are usually El Nino years. So El Nino years or El Nino causes rise in temperature throughout the world. Even 2016 is considered as one of the warmest year in the human history, and it was a El Nino year. Okay, the warmest ever year on record, 2016, was part of one of the longest and strongest El Nino episodes ever, dubbed the Godzilla El Nino. So if they ask you what is Godzilla El Nino, it was the El Nino between 2016-17. Okay, so because of this article, I'm going to explain you El Nino and Monsoon. From this article, what you came to know: what is El Nino, what is La Nina, what is neutral phase, what is El Nino southern oscillation, then what are the trade winds, from where they blow, and El Nino's impact. Now we will discuss all these things in further details. Okay, we will discuss them in further details through our slides. So one by one. First of all, what is El Nino and La Nina? So this article or our slide says El Nino and La Nina are complex weather patterns resulting from variations in ocean temperature in the equatorial Pacific region. You know what is El Nino? Rise in the temperature of the equatorial Pacific Ocean. What is La Nina? Decrease in the temperature of the equatorial Pacific Ocean. They are opposite phases of what is known as El Nino southern oscillation. You know what is El Nino? Warming of the ocean. What is southern oscillation? It measures the difference between air pressure that is present on western Pacific Ocean and eastern Pacific Ocean. And there are three things in ENSO. One is El Nino, second is La Nina, and third one is neutral phase. These three phases are present in El Nino southern oscillation. Let's go ahead. The ENSO cycle, it describes the fluctuations in temperature between the ocean and atmosphere. I already told you ENSO, it is a ocean atmosphere system. It is not only about the ocean. Okay, it is a link between ocean and atmosphere. So this cycle describes the fluctuations in temperature between ocean and atmosphere, but where? In east central equatorial Pacific Ocean. El Nino and La Nina episodes typically last 9 to 12 months. So if El Nino develops, so this El Nino will remain active for 9 to 12 months. But if La Nina develops, this La Nina normally lasts for 2 to 3 years. So La Nina, whenever it develops, it is longer compared to El Nino. So El Nino and La Nina episodes typically last 9 to 12 months, but some prolonged events may last for years. It is considered as that this year's El Nino, which will develop in 2023, it might remain till 2027, that is for 5 years. That is what scientists are predicting. We don't know. Then El Nino is a climate pattern that describes the, you know, this unusual warming of surface waters in the eastern tropical Pacific Ocean. Now till now I told you only equatorial Pacific, right? But El Nino is the warming of the sea surface water in eastern equatorial Pacific Ocean or eastern tropical Pacific Ocean. That means tropical ocean near Ecuador and Peru. This one, see, this is Philippines. Okay, this is Indonesia. From here to this is Ecuador and this is Peru. This Pacific Ocean. This is what I was talking about. 17,000 kilometer uninterrupted water body. So this is eastern equatorial Pacific Ocean and this is western equatorial Pacific Ocean. So El Nino is warming of the water of equatorial Pacific Ocean in eastern part, not in western part. Clear? Let's go back. So, El Nino is a climate pattern that describes the unusual warming of surface waters in the eastern tropical Pacific Ocean. It is the warm phase of a larger phenomenon called the El Nino Southern Oscillation. It occurs more frequently than La Nina. One very important point, remember for your prelims, El Nino is more frequent, La Nina is less frequent. But El Nino stays for shorter duration, that is 9 to 12 months, and La Nina stays for longer duration, that is at least 1 to 2 years. La Nina, you know this also, La Nina, the cool phase of ENSO. It is a pattern that describes the unusual cooling of the tropical, again eastern Pacific Ocean. So whether it is El Nino or La Nina, both are linked to the eastern tropical equatorial Pacific Ocean. La Nina events may last between 1 and 3 years. See, El Nino events 9 to 12 months and La Nina events 1 to 3 years. I told you, but El Nino is more frequent, La Nina is less frequent. So La Nina events may last between 1 and 3 years, unlike El Nino, which usually lasts no more than a year. Both phenomenon tend to peak during the northern hemisphere winter. So whether it is El Nino or La Nina, they become more powerful or stronger during winter season of northern hemisphere. So India is in northern hemisphere. So if we are saying there will be El Nino year in 2023, so when this El Nino will become strong, so it will become strong when there is a winter in India, okay, during the month of winter. That's why it should not impact the monsoon of June, July and August. Okay, these 3 months, because in India January, December, November, October onward El Nino should become stronger. So it should not impact the Kharif season, but the problem is because of Biparjoy, not because of the El Nino, but because of the Biparjoy monsoon got delayed. Okay, so both El Nino and La Nina phenomenon tend to peak during the northern hemisphere winter. El Nino, it was first recognized by Peruvian fishermen off the coast of Peru as the appearance of unusually warm water, but scientists came to know about El Nino in 1920. Now, what is the meaning of the word El Nino? The Spanish immigrants called it El Nino, meaning the little boy. El Nino, the actual meaning of the word El Nino is the little boy, and it is a Spanish word. Okay. El Nino soon came to describe irregular and intense climate changes rather than just the warming of the coastal surface water. Nowadays, the term El Nino is not used in a limited sense, that is warming of the ocean water. El Nino term is used for the overall weather phenomenon that are happening across the world. Okay. El Nino event is not a regular cycle. They are not predictable. Very important. This is one point, not regular. Second point, not predictable. And they occur irregularly at 2 to 7 year interval. And whenever they occur, they remain for 9 to 12 months only, and not more than that. Then, the climatologist determined that El Nino occurs simultaneously with the Southern Oscillation. That's why we use the term ENSO. Southern Oscillation is different, and El Nino is different, but both are linked. You know what is Southern Oscillation? The Southern Oscillation is a change in air pressure over the tropical Pacific Ocean, that is Western Tropical Pacific Ocean and Eastern Tropical Pacific Ocean. Okay, let's go ahead. When coastal water become warmer in the Eastern Tropical Pacific Ocean, we call that El Nino. The atmospheric pressure above the ocean decreases. So remember, when the temperature of ocean surface water increases, air pressure above that ocean water decreases. Air pressure decreases. So when coastal waters become warmer in the eastern tropical Pacific, El Nino, the atmospheric pressure above the ocean decreases. Climatologists define these linked phenomenon as El Nino Southern Oscillation. So see, warming of the ocean, that is El Nino, and decrease in the air pressure above the ocean, that is Southern Oscillation, both are linked to it is El Nino Southern Oscillation or ENSO. I hope you got the clear idea about the ENSO concept. Now, how we monitor El Nino and La Nina? So, for that, scientists and government and NGOs collect data about El Nino using a number of technologies such as scientific buoys. Okay, a buoy is a type of object that floats in water and is used in the middle of the seas as either locator or as warning points for the ships. They are also used to collect the scientific information about the ocean water, ocean biodiversity, as well as air conditions about the ocean. Okay, they are generally bright fluorescent in color. They are like this. This is ocean bios, and you can see seals enjoying the time in the on the ocean bios. Okay, these buoys measure ocean and air temperatures, then they measure currents as well as winds and humidity. The buoys transmit data daily to researchers and forecasters around the world, enabling the scientists to more accurately predict El Nino and visualize its development and impact around the globe. So these buoys help scientific community. Okay. Now, what is Oceanic Nino Index? This is again a very important concept of Oceanic Nino Index. So it is used to measure deviations from normal sea surface temperature. See, there are three phases in ENSO, right? Number one, El Nino, temperature will go up. Number two, La Nina, temperature will go down. And number three, neutral phase, temperatures will remain normal. Okay, so under Oceanic Nino Index, we measure deviations from normal sea surface temperatures. Okay, it is used to measure deviations from normal sea surface temperature, that is either El Nino or La Nina. The intensity of El Nino events varies from weak temperature increases with only moderate local effects on weather and climate to very strong increases associated with worldwide climatic changes. So El Nino can be weak, it can be moderate, or it can be strong. The last strong El Nino was in 2016. We called that Godzilla El Nino, which made 2016 one of the warmest year in the known human history. So we measure the normal sea surface temperature. To measure the normal sea surface temperatures, we use one index, and the name of that index is Oceanic Nino Index. Okay, ONI. It is a measure of the departure from normal sea surface temperature in the East Central Pacific Ocean, and it is the standard means by which each El Nino episode is determined, gauged, and forecast. So if we are saying 2023 will be an El Nino year, what it means? It means we came to know about this up by ONI, and from where ONI got the data? It got the data from the scientific bios. Okay, they got the data from here. Let's go ahead. So this is about Oceanic Nino Index. Now, what is the impact of El Nino? How it impacts the South America, Western Pacific, then how it impacts the Europe, impact on India, all these things, impact of El Nino and La Nina. We will discuss this in second part of this video, that will be released immediately after this video. Now, before you leave this class, you need to remember a few things. Our institute IQ Civils IAS Academy, it is running many government projects, and so you can be rest assured about the quality. Our new batches are starting from 5th July and 12th July, that is next month, and these batches are available offline as well as online. So if you want to book your seat, register yourself for these batches that are starting from 5th and 12th July. Call on these numbers, because by calling on these numbers, even if you are unable to visit our academy, you can easily book your seat. Then notes of these videos, just I taught now, all these PPTs are available on this Telegram channel. So subscribe to this Telegram channel, then subscribe to our YouTube channel, like this video, share this video, and don't forget to join our Telegram channel. If you have any doubts related to El Nino or La Nina or ENSO or impact that we will cover in the next lecture, so you can ask me in the comment, because even if this video is not a live video, I do watch or I do read the comments of yours below this video and I try to answer them. Okay, so that's it from my side, guys. Thank you very much. Bye bye, take care, sayonara, see you in second part of this video.